Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. This time, we're looking at something that's got a lot of people talking these days. Artificial intelligence and education. And,
Right.
you hear AI and you think robots teaching kids math or, something out of a science fiction movie. But
Yeah.
that's not what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
This is happening now.
Exactly.
And we're talking specifically grades K through 5.
Right, in elementary classrooms.
Yep, elementary classrooms. And what's so cool about this is our source material is a presentation that's jam-packed full of real-world examples.
Yes.
We're talking AI-powered dance parties.
I love that one.
I know, right? Kids coding their own translators.
Yeah.
AI composing music from student artwork.
It's really incredible what they're doing.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing stuff, and it really highlights how AI is already transforming education.
Absolutely. And this isn't some far-off future we're talking about. This is happening right now.
Exactly, and that's what makes this so exciting. These tools are being used by real teachers in real classrooms.
And it's having a real impact on how kids are learning.
So let's get into it.
Okay.
The presentation breaks these AI tools down into 3 categories.
Okay.
Coding with AI, creating with AI, and moving with AI.
I'm kind of picturing tiny robot breakdancers, but I suspect it's something a bit different.
Yeah, that's a good one, although that would be entertaining to watch. Moving with AI seems to be more about using AI in, music and movement activities.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So maybe no robot breakdancing just yet, but hey, you never know what the future holds.
True. Technology is always changing.
All right, so let's start with this coding with AI section.
Okay.
This is all about giving these young kids a taste of coding, and here's the best part. So many of these tools are totally free, which is amazing.
Absolutely. That's so important for making these resources accessible to everyone.
Exactly. It's leveling the playing field. So tell me, what kind of tools are we talking about here?
One that really caught my eye is called AI for Oceans.
Okay.
It's designed for 2nd grade and up, and it lets kids train an AI to tell the difference between trash and marine life.
Wow, so an 8-year-old could be teaching a machine.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's pretty incredible when you think about it.
It is. It really shows you the power these kids have to shape the technology of the future.
And it's not just about the tech itself.
Right.
It's connecting it to a real-world problem, ocean pollution, which makes it that much more meaningful for them.
Definitely.
Okay, so this one's for all the music fans out there.
Oh, yeah.
Dance Party, AI edition.
This is one of my favorites.
I know, it's so cool.
It lets students use AI to create these virtual dance parties featuring all the latest hits, and there's a ton of different music to choose from.
Oh, wow. So they're not just listening to music.
No.
They're actually using AI to curate their own music experience.
Exactly. They're in control.
That's amazing.
It's a fun way to learn about AI and music.
Yeah, for sure. And then for the older elementary kids, there's Code, a Scratch translator, where they actually get to build their own translator using Scratch and AI.
That's so cool.
Complete with text and speech features. It's like a crash course in computational linguistics for kids.
I know, it's amazing how they've made something so complex, so accessible.
Right. And then for 5th graders, they've got Code Monkey, artificial intelligence course, which dives into more advanced concepts like machine learning and AI ethics.
It's really impressive how these resources are introducing these important topics to younger and younger learners.
I think it's so important to start early with this stuff.
I agree. The sooner kids are exposed to these concepts, the better prepared they'll be for the future.
Okay, so let's move on to creating with AI. This section really taps into that amazing imagination that kids have and shows them how AI can be used to make some really cool creative things.
Yeah.
This one I'm particularly intrigued by, Quick Draw.
Quick Draw, a classic.
Have you seen that one?
Yes. It's a fun way to see how AI learns to recognize images.
How does it work?
So you draw something and the AI tries to guess what it is.
Oh.
But here's the cool part. Every drawing is added to this huge global database that they use to train the AI.
So these kids are actually contributing to the development of AI.
Exactly. They're helping the AI get smarter.
That's amazing. It's like flipping the script, right?
Yeah.
It's not just AI doing something for us. It's us helping AI learn and grow.
It's a partnership.
Okay, so this one is my absolute favorite. Musical Canvas.
Oh, yes. This one is magical.
It's like magic, right? It uses Google AI to generate soundtracks based on kids' drawings.
It's incredible. Imagine a child drawing a picture of a stormy sea and then hearing the AI create this dramatic, swirling melody that like reflects their artwork.
That's so cool.
It's a beautiful example of how AI can amplify creativity and allow kids to express themselves in new ways.
Yeah, it's really blurring those lines between art and technology.
It really is.
Now, the presentation also mentions a Storytime AI app.
Oh, yeah.
But they don't give us a ton of details.
Yeah.
They just say it's for grade 2 and up and can be used to create stories. So I'm really curious about that one. Like, how does that work?
Me too. There's so much potential for AI to change how we tell and experience stories, especially for younger children.
Yeah, and I wonder, could AI help kids who struggle with like traditional writing to find their own voice and express themselves through storytelling?
It's an interesting question, and I think it's something we'll see explored more and more as AI develops.
All right, are you ready for moving with AI?
Let's see what these robots can do.
I know, right? I'm ready for a robot dance-off. But really, though, this section is about integrating AI into activities that involve music and movement.
Yeah.
And one example that they highlight is song lyrics with Magic School.
Okay.
So this is for kindergarten and up.
Yeah.
And it involves students working together to create song lyrics using AI. And then they actually get to sing and dance to their AI-generated masterpiece.
That's fantastic. It's a great way to combine creativity, collaboration, and physical activity.
Exactly. And it's a great example of how technology can enhance, not replace, those essential human elements of learning.
I agree. It's not about replacing teachers or the joy of making music together.
Yeah.
It's about giving them new tools and new possibilities to explore.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
So we've got kids training AI to clean up the ocean. They're creating their own dance parties, composing music, writing songs.
Amazing.
The possibilities seem endless, but what I'm really curious about is what's the big picture here? What does all of this mean for the future of education?
That's the big question, isn't it? And it's hard to say for sure what the future holds.
Yeah.
But I think it's safe to say that AI is going to play an increasingly important role in how we learn and teach.
It's not just a fad.
No.
It's like a fundamental shift in how we think about education.
Absolutely. And it's a shift that has the potential to benefit all learners if we approach it thoughtfully and carefully.
I agree. So we've covered a lot of ground here, but there's so much more to explore in this presentation.
There is.
They have a whole section called Resources We Love, which is like a treasure trove of AI tools and resources.
Oh, yeah.
For both educators and anyone who's interested in learning more about AI in education. And they've broken it down into AI teacher tools and AI classroom tools.
Yes.
And the best part is so many of them are free.
I love that.
So let's dive into some of those resources
Okay.
and see what kind of treasures we can unearth.
Sounds good.
I'm ready to go treasure hunting.
All right. So we left off talking about all these amazing resources available for using AI in education.
Yeah, and it's great that they've broken it down for teachers specifically and for using AI in the classroom directly.
Yeah, that's really helpful.
It is, because there's a lot out there.
There is.
So where do you think we should start?
Well, how about we look at some of the specific tools that they highlight?
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay, so the first one that jumps out at me is Common Sense Education.
Okay, yeah.
They have a ton of free lessons and tools for teaching about AI.
Oh, wow.
Which is awesome, especially for teachers who are on a tight budget.
Yeah, for sure. And like, you don't have to be an expert to use these resources.
No, not at all.
They're designed to be really accessible and easy to use.
And they cover a wide range of topics.
Oh, wait, what?
Everything from the basics of AI to like the ethical implications of AI.
Oh, wow. Okay, so it really goes beyond just the technical side of things.
Yeah, definitely. It's about helping kids understand AI in a broader context.
Yeah, that's so important.
And then another resource that I thought was really interesting is the AI Digitales podcast.
Okay.
And this one is specifically for kids.
Oh, cool.
So it's a great way to introduce younger learners to the world of AI.
Mm-hmm. And is it like a storytelling format?
Yeah, it uses storytelling and humor to make AI concepts engaging and accessible for kids.
That's a great idea, because sometimes these topics can be pretty complex.
Yeah, but they do a great job of breaking it down for younger audiences.
And they have experts from the field who are interviewed.
Right, so kids can hear from real people who are working with AI every day.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it makes it more real for them.
Definitely. And then there's Magic School.
Yes, Magic School is awesome.
What is that one about?
So it's a platform that has a whole suite of AI-powered tools, specifically designed for classrooms.
So this one's like more geared towards teachers then?
Yes, It's a great resource for teachers who are looking to integrate AI into their teaching.
And what kind of tools does it offer?
They have everything from AI-assisted grading
to
personalized learning recommendations.
Oh, cool.
It's really amazing what they've done with this platform.
Yeah, it sounds like it could save teachers a lot of time and effort.
Definitely. And it can also help teachers to provide more individualized support for their students.
That's so important, especially in today's classrooms where you have so many different learning styles and needs.
Absolutely. It's about meeting each student where they are and helping them to reach their full potential.
And then what about Pigment Sketch?
Oh, Pigment Sketch. This is really cool.
What is that?
So it's basically AI coloring sheets.
Okay.
So imagine coloring sheets that can teach kids about color theory composition and even generate new and unique color combinations.
That sounds really neat.
It is. It's a fun and creative way to learn about AI.
Yeah, it's not something I would have thought of.
But it makes sense when you think about it. AI is really good at pattern recognition.
Right.
And that's essentially what coloring is.
Yeah, so it can help kids to see patterns and relationships that they might not have noticed before.
Exactly.
That's really interesting. And then the last one on our list here is Curipod.
Oh, yes. Curipod is a favorite of mine.
What is that?
It's an interactive presentation tool
Okay.
that incorporates AI features to help you create really engaging and interactive presentations.
So this one's good for teachers who want to spice up their lessons.
Exactly. It can help you to create quizzes, polls, interactive exercises, all sorts of things to keep your students engaged.
That's so important because attention spans are getting shorter and shorter these days.
Yeah, definitely. You really have to work to keep students interested.
And this sounds like a great tool for doing that.
It is. It's a fun and easy way to make your presentations more interactive.
I like it. All right, so those are just a few of the many resources that they highlight in this presentation.
And there's so much more out there.
There is. It's really amazing how many different tools and platforms are available now for using AI in education.
And it's only going to continue to grow.
Oh, yeah.
AI is evolving so rapidly. I think we're just scratching the surface of what's possible.
I agree, and that's what makes this so exciting.
It really is. It's a time of incredible innovation in education.
Okay, so we've talked about some specific tools, but what about more like big picture resources?
Oh, yeah. They have some great recommendations for that, too.
Okay, like what?
Well, one book that they recommend is called AI-Infused Classroom.
Okay.
And it's basically a practical guide for educators who are looking to incorporate AI into their teaching.
That sounds pretty helpful.
It's full of tips, strategies, and real-world examples.
Nice.
And then another resource that they highlight is the Artificial Intelligence and the Future of Teaching and Learning report. And this one is more of a research-based report.
Okay, so it's more in-depth?
Yeah, it takes a deeper dive into the potential impact of AI on the education landscape.
Oh, wow. So it's looking at the big picture.
Exactly. It's exploring the implications of AI for everything from curriculum design to teacher training to assessment.
That sounds fascinating.
It is a really thought-provoking report.
Yeah, and then they also recommend a video called How Teaching AI Helps Students Thrive in School Their Futures.
Oh, yes, this one is great.
What's it about?
So it features interviews with educators and students who have firsthand experience using AI in the classroom.
Oh, cool.
So it's a great way to hear about the real-world impact of AI on teaching and learning.
That's what I love about these types of resources.
Yeah, me too.
It's not just theory, it's real people sharing their experiences.
It makes it more relatable and inspiring.
Definitely. All right, so we've got books, reports, videos. It's amazing how much information is out there.
It is, and it can be a bit overwhelming trying to figure out where to start.
Right. But I think the key is to just start exploring.
I agree.
Like find a resource that interests you and dive in.
That's the best way to learn.
Exactly. And the more you learn about AI in education, the more excited you'll become about the possibilities.
I agree.
It's a really fascinating field.
It is, and it's constantly evolving.
So there's always something new to discover.
Exactly, and that's what makes it so much fun.
I agree. All right, so as we wrap up this deep dive into AI in education, what's one key takeaway that you want our listeners to remember?
I think the most important takeaway is that AI is not here to replace teachers. It's here to empower them.
Yes, I love that.
It's about giving teachers new tools and new possibilities.
Yeah. To help them do what they do best, which is to inspire and educate the next generation.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's something we can all get excited about.
Yeah, for sure. AI in education, it's not just about the technology.
No.
It's about the people.
It's about the future.
It's about creating a better world for everyone.
Well said.
All right, so that's it for our deep dive into AI in education for now.
Okay.
But as always, we want to hear from you, our listeners.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on AI in education? What are your hopes and fears?
What questions do you have?
Share your thoughts with us on social media or send us an email.
We love hearing from you.
We do, and we'll be back soon with another deep dive into a fascinating topic.
So stay tuned.
And until then, keep those brains buzzing. So we've spent a lot of time talking about the nuts and bolts of AI in education.
Yeah, the tools, the resources, the potential benefits.
Exactly, and I think it's important to step back for a minute and consider the ethical implications.
You're absolutely right. Ethics are crucial when we're talking about something as important as education.
Yeah, because it's not just about the technology itself.
No, it's about how we use it.
And the values that we embed in it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We need to be very careful and intentional about how we're integrating AI into education.
So let's talk about some of those ethical concerns.
Okay.
What are some of the things that we need to be mindful of as AI becomes more prevalent in schools?
Well, one of the biggest concerns that I have is the potential for bias.
Bias.
Yeah, AI systems are trained on data, and if that data reflects existing biases in our society, then those biases will be baked into the AI.
So it's like garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly. And this could lead to AI systems making unfair or discriminatory decisions about students.
Oh, wow. Like what?
Well, for example, an AI system might recommend a student for a lower level class simply because of their race or gender or socioeconomic background.
And that's not fair.
No, it's not. And it's something we need to be very vigilant about.
So how can we prevent that?
Well, first of all, we need to be aware of the potential for bias.
Right.
And we need to be very careful about the data that we use to train AI systems. We need to make sure that that data is diverse and representative of all students.
So it's not just reflecting the biases of the past.
Exactly. We need to be intentional about creating AI systems that are fair and equitable for everyone.
That makes sense. And what about data privacy?
Oh, that's another huge concern.
Yeah, because we're talking about really sensitive information here.
Absolutely. Grades, test scores, disciplinary records, even personal information about students' interests and hobbies.
Yeah, it's a lot of data.
It is, and we need to make sure that this data is being protected.
So what kind of safeguards do we need to have in place?
Well, first of all, we need to have clear policies and procedures about who has access to this data and how it can be used.
So not just anyone can access it.
Exactly. And we also need to make sure that parents and students are informed about how their data is being collected and used.
Transparency is key.
Absolutely. And we also need to be thinking about the potential for misuse.
Like what?
Well, for example, could this data be used to discriminate against students or to track their movements or to target them with advertising?
Those are some scary thoughts.
They are. And they're things we need to be thinking about very carefully.
So it's not just about protecting the data.
No.
It's about making sure it's used responsibly and ethically.
Exactly. And that's a big responsibility.
It is, and it's one that we all share.
Yeah. Teachers, administrators, policymakers, parents, students. We all have a role to play in ensuring that AI is used ethically in education.
And that it's used to benefit all students.
Absolutely.
Well, I think this has been a really enlightening conversation.
Yeah, I've learned a lot.
Me too, and I hope our listeners have as well.
I hope so.
It's clear that AI has the potential to revolutionize education.
It does.
But it's important that we approach it with caution and a strong ethical compass.
I agree. We need to be thoughtful, critical, and proactive in shaping how this technology is used.
Because ultimately the goal is to create a better future for all learners.
That's what it's all about.
Well said.
Thank you.
So that's it for our deep dive into AI in education.
It's been a pleasure.
It has. We've explored the possibilities, we've discussed the challenges, and we've hopefully given you some food for thought.
Yes.
As always, we want to hear from you, our listeners. What are your thoughts on AI and education?
What are your hopes and fears?
What questions do you still have?
Let us know.
You can reach us on social media or send us an email.
We'd love to hear from you.
And in the meantime, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those brains buzzing.
Yeah, stay curious.
Thanks for joining us.